What's going on, beautiful people? This is your boy Shannon Vick. Today I want to talk about giving up. There are many of you out there right now. I'm just going to get right into it, y'all. I'm just going to get right into it. There are many of you out there struggling with wanting to give up. And the reason why most people give up is because they have a certain expectation and they have a certain time frame of when they expect something or some things to happen. So they have something in their mind. Maybe it's a dream, maybe it's a certain goal, maybe it's a promotion, maybe it's a weight loss, maybe it's I expected to make more money, I expected to have kids by now. Whatever it may be, we all have expectations, right? We all have things that consume us from an expectation standpoint. But when it consumes us because we have generated a time frame of when we want that particular thing. And so we operate in our own accord by saying, I want it at this time, right? A lot of times God is saying, well, hey, our times aren't matching up because, yeah, although you may want it at that time, you're not ready to have it at that time. So I need you to have it at this time because this is when you'll be more prepared and more ready for it, and you'll appreciate whatever that expectation is that you desire to have in that time frame. You'll appreciate it more once you get it on my time, not my time, but his time. Okay, so what happens is when that expectation isn't met within that certain time frame that you've given yourself, we want to give up. A lot of times we want to throw in the towel. Or maybe you have an event for the first time and you're like, man, I had sent out all these email blasts, I sent out all these information on Facebook and IG, and X amount of people said they were going to show up, and 100 people said they were going to come, and we only had 5. So now it's like, okay, well, there's a number expectation. So you're like, well, I'm not doing this event anymore. I'm just going to give up. And my thing to tell you today is that you need to give up on wanting to give up. Okay? Let me say that again. Whoever is listening to this, you need to give up on wanting to give up. Okay? Because here's the thing that I've learned, and this is something that I've had to preach to myself many times. When you have a desire, when you have a thing that consumes you, it's there for a reason, okay? God put it in there for a reason because he wants you to be the person to be the voice for that particular thing. He has given you that particular responsibility, and he wants only you to take care of it because he knows that it is best fit in your hands. So when you give up on that, not only are you giving up on your dream, but you're giving up on the opportunity that you may have to impact others who will benefit from your dream, okay? So again, if you give up, you not only give up on your dream and fulfilling your dream, but you also lose the possibility and the impact that you can make in others' lives, okay? Because they're going to benefit off of whatever goal, dream, whatever it is, responsibility that has been given to you, okay? So give up on wanting to give up. I always look at it like this. If, and I know people use this illustration a lot, so I'm going to use it again, okay? You've heard it many times before, but I'm going to use it again. If Michael Jordan would have just stopped playing basketball when he got cut from the varsity team, as a sophomore, I believe it was, and just said, you know what, I quit basketball. Like, I can't even imagine that because I'm such a Michael Jordan fan. Like, to this day, even though he's not playing anymore, like, I love Mike. Like, Mike is my dude. He can't do no wrong. He's the greatest of all time. But I would have missed out on seeing that greatness. Michael Jordan's greatness, led to him getting 6 championships. It led to him having a multitude of scoring titles. It led to him being considerably and arguably the greatest basketball player that has ever walked the face of this earth. If Michael Jordan would have quit, we as people who were spectators of his greatness wouldn't have been able to experience that. And guess what? Because we saw him play and drop 40 plus points in the flu game, because we saw him down 3-2 to the Indiana Pacers and come back and win that series and then go on to win the championship, we were able to see his greatness. And because we were able to see his greatness, it did something to us. It motivated us to be great. It motivated us to go out and go above and beyond, because we saw that there wasn't any quit in MJ. And so because there wasn't any quit in Michael Jordan, there can't be any quit in Shannon Vick. okay? And that is the beauty of not giving up, because when you give up, you're not only giving up on yourself, but you're giving up on the millions of people that could potentially benefit from whatever calling that has been placed on your life. Okay, I'm gonna give you another illustration. The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, here's an interesting story. The thing about The Rock is that The Rock, he didn't give up on football, but football was not meant for him, okay? God has something different for The Rock. So The Rock is like trying out for football. You know, he gets injured, has a significant injury in college, so it kind of puts him in the back of the depth chart. He ends up playing sparingly. You know, he gets a championship. I think his career, he ended up with like 4.5 sacks in college. Tried to go to the NFL, didn't get drafted. Then went to the USFL, I think. That didn't work out. He got injured. So long story short, he tries wrestling, okay? So he followed in the footsteps of his father, and his father told him, don't do it. His father was like, look, don't do it. There's gonna be people in your life that you love, and whatever desire that you have, that you feel like, hey, this is something that I feel compelled and called to do, there are gonna be people, close ones, that love you and you love them, and they're gonna tell you don't do it, okay? They're gonna basically tell you give up before you even start. His dad was like, look, I don't want you to have to deal with what I had to deal with in the wrestling industry. It's a terrible industry. It's not gonna work out for you. And he wasn't telling The Rock this because he didn't believe in his abilities. He just was telling him this in love. But even in love, somebody telling you no, it's still the wrong information that you should receive, because look, just because it didn't work out for you doesn't mean it's gonna work out for me. You paved the way. So long story short, The Rock tries wrestling. He goes against what his father says. He tries wrestling. He tries to be like, you know, the Hulk Hogan, the next Hulk Hogan. I'm just gonna, you know, slap, high five people. I'm gonna be the best that I can be. And people started saying, man, die, Rocky, die. Like, the fans were booing him, even though he was like the Intercontinental Champion. Long story short, this man turned out to be the Michael Jackson of WWF wrestling, WWE wrestling. Like, he is the GOAT when it comes to wrestling. What I'm saying is if The Rock would have listened to his dad's advice and said, you know what? My dad is saying not to do this. I'm not gonna do it. Guess what? We wouldn't have been able to witness the greatness that Rock is. And guess what? The Rock wouldn't have been able to benefit, because The Rock he's now gone from being the Michael Jackson of WWE to dang near, you know, the GOAT as far as action-packed actors that are out there. Like, he's the highest paid actor in the world. So what I'm saying is that a lot of times when you want to give up on something, that give up will potentially lead you to not even experience the greatness that is before you. And so again, I want to tell you this in closing: give up on wanting to give up, because you do not know what lies ahead. That desire that you have is there for a reason. You know, right now I'm dealing with a difficult time. It's a difficult period of the summer where, you know, memberships typically drop. And so, you know, we don't necessarily have as many members in class because people are on vacations. You know, then people, now you got obviously COVID's kicking back in again, and people are getting sick, stuff like that. People are going on vacations. You know, maybe one person's injured, maybe one person has a surgery, maybe one person's out of town. So it affects the numbers per se. But then on the flip side, our personal training is going through the roof. Like, I have more clients now than I think I had even when I first started training. So but that's a shameless plug to say I'm accepting more clients. But needless to say, if I reflected on the bad and said, oh man, our membership numbers down, but not reflect on the fact that, well, hey, our membership numbers are down, but our personal training numbers are up, and I only focused on that, man, I would want to give up right now. Because it's like, man, classes aren't as full as they used to be. But again, it's that time of season. There's a season for everything. So even in your season, right, you have to look at the good. The good for me right now is that, man, personal training is killing it. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to be thankful for the people who do show up for class. I'm going to be thankful for the 22 plus clients that I have that I'm personally training plus running a business. Like, I'm going to focus on that. I'm not going to focus on the negative or the bad. Again, seasons don't last forever. Although winter in Wisconsin feels like it lasts forever, we know that spring is coming, and then spring comes summer, and then summer comes fall. So I say that to say all this, that again, give up on wanting to give up, okay? Give up the fact that you want to give up. Keep pushing, be consistent, be persistent, okay? Step outside of your comfort zone. Do things that you normally wouldn't do, okay? And in the end, you'll be able to see that flower fully grown, fully developed, fully blossomed, and you'll be grateful that you never gave up. All right, This is Body by Vic with Mind Fit. I thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, share. All right. And until next time, I will see you soon. Peace.